Welcome back to Listen Up, everyone. Today we're joined by Ceyda, and I have to say that I'm gonna give it a shot with your name. Köybaşıoğlu? How would you spell it? How would you say it? Okay. Okay. Köybaşıoğlu. Ceyda, so Ceyda or Jada? Ceyda Köybaşıoğlu. Wow, okay, so I'm gonna do the intro again. It's good, like, I'm gonna try it, let's see. And you can trash talk me. Okay. Um Köybaşıoğlu. Ah, köy baş Köybaşıoğlu. Okay. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Listen Up. Today we're joined by Ceyda Köybaşıoğlu. That's my best take. That's my best take, I'm sorry. Nice to see you, Ceyda. How you doing? So, yeah, so today you're in Istanbul, Turkey, right? That's so. Thanks a lot for taking the time. As very often, we both met online on this beautiful Instagram platform, and I think that the best would be, like, to kick in would be for you to introduce yourself and to let us know basically what's going on in your life at the minute. Okay. Yeah, so because, like, in the notes is like your genre is also like between R&B, soul, funk, jazz. How would you describe your type of music? Okay, that's what seems to be where a lot of people are going to try to discover kind of new genres and to see what will resonate the most with their audience, which kind of makes sense. So, I think that your last single was released something like a year and a half ago, like end of 2022, something like this. Back to basics, yeah. I'm trying to plug it, just like to market it just for you in case. So just in case for everyone following you, like, and listening to this episode, how can people find you on socials or on music platform? Hmm. Yeah, this is where it's gonna be funny for people. Yeah. Ah, well, that's fair, to be honest. And I heard so many weird stories of um, actors or famous musicians where they would meet like a manager and they would say like, "We need to change your name," right? And so some people would like say like, I don't know, their name would like you, Jada, and they would say like, your name is gonna be Maria from now on, and you're gonna be like, oh, that's really an old school way of seeing life. It'd be like, we need to be sure that people can pronounce your name, and it's a familiar name, which is a bit odd nowadays, I would say. Actually, people are embracing way more the fact that we come from different places in the world, and that actually you might learn more than a thing. Yeah, no, old school that someone else dictates it to you. After the fact that, for example, you decide to change it yourself to, I don't know, just Koiba, for example, that's the way I would say it. If I would read your name like from a pure like French perspective, I would say Ceyda Koiba, right? It's of course easier to pronounce, but does it make sense? Because for your audience and so on, this is only for you to decide. What I'm saying is that before, people were just saying like, I want to make you a star, but for this you need to change your name. And you're just like, well, like, let me decide maybe. And at that time, they didn't have the choice too much. So thanks a lot again for being here today. I have so many topics I love discussing all the time. I guess that the first one, before we go a bit like in the business side of things or marketing or how you engage with your audience, would be like, you just told me that you really like bending and blending genres together, right? To have this kind of fusion approach, which makes perfect sense and it sounds amazing. But before that, how like did you get in music, and is music your full-time job, for example, at the minute, or how do you organize your life? I talk to a lot of people that are jack of all trades, right? There would be artists and there will also be sound engineer or working for a label somewhere. It's like, so what is your story? How did you land in music, and how do you make music a part of your life at the minute? Okay. That's super cool. And so right now, how do you organize your music activity? Like, do you, like, what's your main, not specifically source of income, but like activity? Is it recorded music? Is it live music? Like session musician? How do you organize your life? Yeah, I hear this all the time. So this is like totally normal. So you're finding your own gigs yourself, or I guess via socials? Okay, that's a perfect way to enter the conversation regarding the music business. One of the thing I'm trying to push all the time is that artists should really be focused on their business acumen, and how you're gonna actually see not just the short term of like, I made an amazing song, it's gonna be super cool, I'm gonna be a superstar, and well, I guess the money will come in. So it's like more, how do you connect with your fan base, and how do you keep them engaged so that actually they become consumers of whatever you're creating? So at the moment, how do you engage with your fans? How do you grow your fan base? Okay. Okay, so at the moment, the main approach is to provide these videos that you give to Instagram for free and just crossing your fingers, hoping that the algorithm will basically make you more visible to a new audience so that they discover who you are. That's what I'm talking about with everyone. I'm just like, there should be another way, in my opinion. Because I'm like, this is a great way, right, to get attention. But if you're on Instagram, you're competing against anyone that wants to create content, basically. And most of the time, specialized people. So these platforms are not very social anymore. A lot of the content at work is actually really well crafted. Even if it looks like if it's just not shot on a phone, there is a lot of time script behind. People think about the lights. They're like professional content creators. And here you are trying to make music, and you spent a lot of your time like being better at your craft and knowing how to play instruments and things like this. So all the time that you spent honing your skills as a music artist is time that content creators spent learning how to be content creators. Sound, cameras, like scripting, lights, everything else. And so the point is that it seems like bringing a knife to a gunfight to me a lot of time. And that's why I'm really trying to imagine a new kind of platform, a new system where actually you could maintain the engagement with your audience, but not only by doing the exact same thing that everyone else is doing as content creators, because your main added value is not that, it's music. What do you think about this? How do you put these two worlds, how do they coexist for you? The content creation side of your activity now and being an artist? What do you mean? Oh yeah, no, 100%. Yes, it's a lot of passive streaming, like watching, basically passive consumption, which is great for these platforms because they have people that are hooked up on their screens, and then they can show them advertising because that's how these platforms make money, Instagram or TikTok. So from a product design perspective, they did really well. From an engagement perspective and how the people that actually feed their platforms, like you and me, by the way, because I'm also a dancing monkey now. I also like do all this stuff, like just to find a way to reach out an audience. It seems like the deal is not very fair, specifically now that all this digital content, right? So marketing tricks and hacks and so on, are going to be easily replicable with AI very soon, right? Already now you have very like realistic videos. So in less than a year, this podcast could be totally scripted and done by AI. We would not even need to be there. It would just be like some kind of robots scripting our history and on Instagram. And it would be like, I think the conversation would look like this. And we'll have avatar looking exactly like us having this conversation, which is super scary. This is why I feel like at some point people will get bored because they will not know for sure that what they are watching is real. And so I feel like a lot of the, can be wrong, but my 2 cents is that we still watch all these videos because it's relatable. Like it could be someone else. It could be us or someone else like that we used to know, but it's still someone that does something that we can't do or that we would like to do. So it's either inspiring or actually very comforting. So at the moment, for example, how often do you like go on these marketing platforms like Instagram and so on to actually promote yourself? Do you do it a lot?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm not.
So there is no strategy behind it.
Yeah, actually, I've got so much lists. I've got so much ideas. I don't know what to do, what to pick. I'm not starting. Maybe I'm a perfectionist about it. I'm a little bit perfectionist. I couldn't say the word. Perfectionist.
Listen, I couldn't say your family name, so it's fine.
And so I'm just doing some lists, and it's getting more complicated when I'm doing that list. And I'm in the end, I'm trying to be okay, just be much easier because they don't want to see that perfection or what's going on or what's because it's all produced. No one's doing some live stuff. They just record it and imitating that they recorded at that time. It's not live.
Yep.
So I'm like I'm always trying to decide what I'm going to be. Does it matter to be live or not? Something like that. So I'm just, sometimes I promote myself very good, but sometimes, okay, what I'm doing is AI is coming and, my feelings for what to do, it's like, it's going on and off like social media.
Yeah. And it's evolving very quickly also.
Yeah.
So there is this kind of fear of like, even if I try to anticipate, for example, my content, marketing content for the next 2 months, it was just like, maybe there will be a new trend in 2 days. So
Yeah.
all the stuff that I've been working on is actually useless, right?
Yeah.
It's, yeah. And have you tried to experiment? So you're on and off socials, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like your socials grew, like you have a good following. So is it your main source to find where you can play live, for example?
For my, the amount of my followers is
Yeah, do you actually
huge.
use this following, the fan base that you have on socials? Is it actually useful at the moment?
It's not there actually. Uh, Yeah, sometimes people know me when I'm on the streets. Some people know me, but it's not that much actually for me.
Which is normal. But like, is it something that so then you can use for your business, that actually people reach out to you to say, can you play live at this venue or this concert? Is it like a source? Is it an acquisition channel for you? Something that helps your business?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, if my video is like pickable, it's like something going on, and people reach out to me. Saw your video. Would you like to perform here? Yeah.
Okay. Do you have some requests, by the way, to do things online? Like, can you cover that song, for example?
From the audience is so much actually.
So you have a lot of this, like where people basically
Yeah.
tell you, could you do this or this?
Yeah.
This is exactly, yeah, that's my whole thesis, is that people more and more want some kind of authenticity. And so they will be like, okay, the artist can anticipate whatever they want, but they cannot anticipate what I'm going to ask them. So what I would like is the ability to actually determine what the artist could give back to me. Even if I love their songs already and I love their public performances, what if I could ask you to cover that song, but to change these lyrics to basically make a surprise for my partner in 2 weeks, for example, these kind of things. So these requests, you're already receiving some of them, correct?
Yeah. Actually, I guess it's going to be more of cover songs we'll hear. I'm not sure there will be some authenticity or new songs are coming. It's going to be more cover songs for the industry, I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah, which is fine. Like you will have, of course, way more people asking for covers and people asking for a bespoke song. And for this, have you thought about creating an account on these direct-to-consumer platforms, something like Patreon or Bandcamp, for example, to have a specific release of your song?
I used some time ago SoundCloud, but I'm never on Bandcamp actually.
So
And
SoundCloud
Patreon
is,
is for education.
yeah, so SoundCloud is just to release your music, right? But I'm saying,
Yeah.
for example, like Bandcamp, the advantage is that it's not streaming. So, I mean, you can stream on Bandcamp, but the whole point is to say, I'm releasing an album with 10 tracks, for example. And if you want to have the 11th, you can pay for it. And people most of the time go to Bandcamp for that. Like what iTunes used to be, basically.
Yeah. Totally.
So you haven't tried this yet.
No.
Okay. And Patreon?
No.
Okay. So all these requests that your fans are sending you, you're basically putting all of this on socials. So when they ask, like, I don't know, imagine this week you receive 10 requests for 10 different covers, right? You're going to record all these videos and you're going to post them on socials?
Yeah. If I
Okay.
find urge to it.
This is what I'm actually discussing a lot. It's all of these efforts at the moment are basically a shot in the dark, right? You're basically hoping that you're going to make your people happy and then they're going to
Yeah.
stay engaged. But at the same time, you're feeding the algorithm. You're basically giving away free content. So not specifically your music, like free content just to all these platforms. Does that bother you a bit?
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm just gave up at the idea. That's why I'm like a little bit down about it, a little bit depressed about it. So I don't want to do anything for the social media, but I have to do because it's my, it's the market is all over there.
Yeah. Like you like, I have to adapt because this is what's going on at the minute. But if you would have another way, that would be way better for you and I don't know, everyone's mental health, I guess. Right?
Yeah. Huh?
So if you had to to imagine what a service like this would look like, what would you think about, for example, combining what you do on music platforms with Patreon? The fact that you don't give everything for free, for example. So you could imagine you go on a music platform, and then you would also have your socials, and then you would also have a direct-to-consumer platform where you can basically give extra benefits for a very bespoke community. Is it something you've already tried with a newsletter or with anything else?
I'm thinking about doing it on Instagram. Actually, Instagram had a new, channel system to pay for the followers, but I've never started.
Okay, so to put some of the content behind a paywall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so of course
I'm thinking about it actually.
Yeah, well, that seems to make sense, to be honest. If you have like so many requests on Patreon, that's what people do. It's like, I basically give you whatever, a few dollars per month in exchange to being able to access some very bespoke content, behind the scene videos, the stems of my last single, the ability to know where to have a discount for your next show, and so on and so on and so on. Meet and greets, you name it. And so, but at the moment for you, the best would be to do it on socials. Don't you feel that the competition is a bit too fierce? Meaning you're not competing just against other musicians, you're competing also against anyone else that does content. You said
The
fun and
marketing
sexy at the
system,
beginning.
actually.
Yeah.
You're fighting against the marketing system too, because you have to think about to promote yourself, and you just wanna write music or play some music, and you don't want to deal with the situations about, so okay, see me, get me, buy me, something like that. So that's why maybe we just feel so, tired about it, exhausted about it. And
What
I
would be
didn't
the
know that
perfect system for you?
the Patreon thing.
So Patreon would be a good thing for you.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I just assumed that Patreon was an education platform.
Oh no, it's a lot of different things. The music platform I'm building, Lissen, would actually combine
Yes.
both.
Oh,
So
okay.
the whole point would be that you could actually market your music, which is normal, but you could also market your experiences, and that would be under the same roof. Because at the moment, what I think is the biggest issue for actually most artists is the customer acquisition pipeline. So the issue is that you're going to be discovered on Instagram, but then out of 1,000 fans, how many are actually going to stream you on Spotify, Apple Music, for example? A very small percentage, right? Then how many of them are going to actually come to see you live? Same, a small percentage. Then you do the same on Spotify, where you try to get playlisted and so on. And then who is actually going to come to see you live? Because you barely make any monies on these music platforms. And so the issue is that you're actually fighting, first of all, against huge ecosystems of people, right? People that actually do this all day on different platforms. So your attention is split and your
Yeah.
competition pool is gigantic. Arguably on music platform, it's just for music, but now you also have podcasts and audiobooks. So you're literally competing against the humanities knowledge, right? If you go on TikTok, you're competing against everyone from someone doing street jokes to the new Christopher Nolan movie. And then to go to platforms like Patreon, basically, it's very difficult because who would go there, right? Because now you need to, again, have a funnel to actually bring fans there, and they will stay there. My point is that I think it's way too complicated. It's complicated for you as an artist. It's complicated for fans. No one wants to install more apps on their phone. So my point is that what about we create an ecosystem that is just about music? And you would be able to do all these things on the same platform. So you would still have, of course, your socials, right? Because you need a place of discourse. But you know that for music and for like your songs and your experiences, you could actually have these in the same place. That's what I'm basically building.
Yeah, it's cool. It's great.
That's this was wait before you see it. But like that's what we're trying to build at least. So
Okay.
for you, what does how do you feel you're gonna organize, for example, the end of the year, the next 6 months? Do you have a release plan, or like are you going to get ready with your projects?
Yeah. I'm thinking about the video clips actually. The context of the songs, what I'm going to build an idea and make it stick together. So I have a plan actually. I'm just waiting for the September.
To enjoy the summer break?
Yeah.
And you have to finish your songs already, right? Or you already finished them?
Just a little bit of work left.
Okay. Post-production. So the songs are ready. You're just like
Yeah,
ironing them
before
out.
the mix part.
Okay. So you're gonna master them now. Mix and
Yeah,
master.
mix and I'm not
Get
going to
it.
do that. I'm just find a person to do it, of course.
Yeah, it's really tough. I was just talking about this today. Like when I tried to take care of just about production of my songs, it was a nightmare. And I just realized that I just suck at it. I'm just not good, right? So if it's about like writing some songs or performing them, I really enjoy it. And after, I guess people can assess if they like it or not. But the music production process for me was excruciating. And so I just gave up, which is not too much in my nature, but I just just not good at it. So you do your own production?
Yeah. It's taken
Okay.
so much time. But in the end, it's like, oh, did I did this? Did I do that? And it's like whole, it's like a painting when it ends.
Fair.
Actually.
Yeah, agreed. So let's assess that I'm not a good painter either.
Yes.
The are you like on Logic, Ableton,
I love
Pro
Logic.
Tools?
I love Logic. I love Logic sounds. I'm not gonna give up on Logic.
Me too. So I'm really trying all the time to find people on Ableton because there are a lot, but so far I haven't spoken with anyone on Ableton. I can't wait because I'm really always wondering like what made you decide? For me, of course, it's an Apple software, so
Yeah.
it kind of like it's really well integrated in my setup, I would say. But
Yeah.
you talk to people on Ableton, they would die on that hill too, which is the same for Logic people. So for me, it's very interesting to know the why or how.
I feel like Ableton sounds is like more compressed and processed, and I don't like that. Every software has its own timbre when it comes out from the program. So I don't like the in Ableton's, like I feel like it's so compressed. It's not like Logic. I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna clip that, and like this, we're gonna have the Ableton people coming at you to say it's because you don't use
they
it
will
properly.
kill me.
And then the
They will
Logic people will
cancel
say,
me.
"Wait a minute, being cancelled by that would be
Being
interesting."
cancelled by the Ableton users. I'm sorry, but
By
it's
those
okay for
users,
live. It's okay
you
for
might have
live.
to do a public apology. You know this, right? I would like to
Yeah.
apologize to the Ableton community. Yeah, for
Yeah.
live, apparently it's great.
It's great for live, but for production process, I'm into Logic.
Get it. So, so right now, like you were saying that you started preparing for the videos, so you already start anticipating the marketing campaign for your album, right? Is it an album, an EP?
It's 8 songs. I'm not sure. It's not like EP. It's like
It's an album, I
extended
guess.
EP.
Yeah.
I guess EP is like 6 songs.
I don't even know. That for me, yeah, an EP would
Up
be
to
4 to
up
6
to
songs, yeah.
6 songs.
And so you are already planning how you're gonna release that. By the way, do you have a name for the album that we can start teasing the people listening to it?
I've got a couple of names, so I'm not sure what to put it. I'm just maybe Myalog, or maybe it will be Myalog.
Myalog.
Yeah, Myalog. Yeah.
What does this mean?
Okay, it's my alter ego's name. I just put like
Oh, Myalog, like
Myalog.
what you have
Yeah,
on your
like
Instagram profile.
yeah. I got another Instagram profile. Yeah,
Okay, with like this kind of comic book
yeah,
little
yeah.
tiles, right?
Yeah.
Okay, get it. So potentially Myalog. Okay, and so now that you're preparing the release, like, can you run me through how you forecast that? How do you imagine it, from when you're going to release the videos to what the videos are going to be about? What's your process like?
I'm just thinking about so many scenarios about it. So many scripts going about. So I have so many ideas.
Give me your top
Uh,
3.
my top 3. Okay.
I put you under pressure now.
Yeah. It it's the songs are about how we are not communicating each other. It's and the relationships, about the relationships. We are not going to be in relationships anymore, I think.
Mhm.
People are going so alone, and it's like we got to do something about it. The old songs about that sustainable relationships. So and the anxieties we have. So each song representing an anxiety about it. I'm not sure what to do. I'm just so full of ideas, so I can express myself right now.
So no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. So, but basically, you're gonna brainstorm some kind of scripting and some kind of videos correlated to the not lack of, but the reduction of human relationships or
Yeah,
connection.
yeah, connection. Basically, connection.
Get it? And so most of these marketing that you're thinking of would be on socials in the form of
Yeah,
videos, right?
yeah.
Are you thinking about doing something in the physical world, in real life, to, I don't know, go and busk in some streets in Istanbul, or go and do a partnership with a podcaster or someone like maybe over there, right? You know what? Are you thinking about other types of
Like virals.
content you could do?
Like
Sorry?
virals. Like viral.
Rivals?
Viral.
Oh, to
V
go viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. To go viral.
Yeah, yeah.
Not specifically to go viral, but like, what do you think your audience is expecting from you? So apart from these videos, are you thinking about something else?
Uh, uh, yeah, the busking idea would be great, actually.
Oh, I just threw this in it. Great. Okay. I'm great. I'm an agent just in weekends, so it's fine. I'm an intern. Uh,
I'm gonna ask you from now on.
yeah. I'm a great unpaid intern. Like I love it. I love music anyways, to be honest. Like, I talk to a lot of artists, and every time their marketing strategies are really interesting. Some of them have none, and some of them go as far as, for example, customizing hats. Right. And so you would
Oh,
basically have their own brand on it, but they will make it very specific, right? So you will have
yeah,
whatever said, Myalog, right?
yeah,
So Myalog number 1, right? And number
Yeah.
2 and number 3. And so people would be able to basically have items
Yeah.
that are unique. And so you would
Yeah.
say it to your fan base, for example, on Instagram Live, to say, today I'm going to be busking at that location,
Point. Yeah.
at that point, right? And for the people who come, like, I will have one hat, one baseball cap to give to like
Oh,
the
cool.
first fan that arrives there. You know what I mean? So you incentivize the engagement. Most artists really have a side creative activity, right? I don't know, some people like knitting, some people like design, some people like drawing, and so on and so
Yeah.
on. And so they use this to engage with their fans, because now, as a fan, what I think is extremely exciting is that what you want, first of all, is to feel unique. That's what everyone wants, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to feel this way, you need to basically live unique experiences. And the example I give all the time is that it's something you would be able to talk about the family dinner at the end of the day, right? You say, oh, I watched this amazing movie, or oh, I went to see this amazing concert. And someone will arrive and
Yeah.
say, oh, I went to see Ceyda, and I got the hat. And people are like, what do you mean the hat, right? And suddenly you have a story. You have something that is interesting, something that you can share with your friends and family. And I think that that's what makes you feel. Now it becomes a story in your life, right? And so you, as an
Yeah.
artist, providing these mind-expanding experiences through music, you can also provide them through experiences, because now suddenly you became a part of their story. And that's how they stay engaged with you, because now you gave them something to be proud of, something to share with other people. Maybe they triggered conversations. Why a baseball cap and not a t-shirt, for example, right? But you know what I mean? Like, you can suddenly become a part of the conversation and suddenly be embedded in culture, which I think is what artists are, and at the moment cannot entirely be, because of the way consumer applications are being designed, because everything is about advertising. So you are just a commodity. But if a platform would revolve around that, then you would have all these tools. That's just my two cents. I don't know what you think about it.
Yeah. I thought about many years ago the merchandise stuff. I had so many ideas spreading all around the place. So if it's not happening for me, I just forgot about them. Yeah, maybe t-shirts would be a good idea. I can paint and write some notes on it. So
It's not the merch is an example, right? But it could be
yeah,
anything. It could be stuff like you don't even sell. That's the whole point, is to make unique
no,
items. So you
yeah,
have either
just
the
give it.
merch mindset.
Yeah,
Exactly. You have the merch mindset with the approach of, we're going to have to try to sell as many as possible.
hmm
Or you have the item mindset. And in that case, you just do 4 baseball cap that you yourself customized, right? So it's not
yeah,
merch per se, because you're going to give it away to
yeah.
people. But suddenly, you say, over the next 4 weeks, I'm going to busk in random location, and that becomes a valuable item because you're the only one in the world to have it. There is this guy in the UK, I think his name is Cortez, and he has this brand, looks like Alcatraz. I don't remember exactly, right? But his brand is
I
basically,
know that Cortez brand. I guess I
okay,
saw.
right? It became super famous, and he has this kind of like guerrilla marketing approach, which he nailed, right? So he would arrive in some location and would just like give away
Yeah,
the sweatshirt or whatever, but you would have to pay in coins, right? So you can have it for like 75 cents, but you need to give the exact amount in coins, right? And you need to be close to the truck. And he would do this very often. And by the way, his designs are pretty cool, right?
hmm
And so suddenly the following was growing, because it's not just about clothing. It's about the fact that if you buy it on his website, it's going to cost £75. But if you find him wherever he is at that day, and you have the coins, which is really fun, it makes no sense at all,
hmm
you're going to get it. So he doesn't do this to make money. He does it as a marketing operations, and he
Advertising, yeah.
nailed it. It's super smart. And now he's doing partnerships with the biggest brands in the world, I think Nike and so on. So I think this is something, again, artists could use.
Yeah.
The issue is that the competition is pretty fierce, right? And so how would you find the tools to actually do this? And this is, again, what we are trying to build, because you could do
Build
it.
a bond.
Yes. If you have that engagement, you are a business with the consumer. And so your incentive is to actually find a way to monetize that, right? And their incentives is to be happy thanks to what you provide them. Same way a baker would sell you a croissant in the morning, right? Your
Yeah.
incentive is to arrive and be fed. Their incentive is to make money out of what they love doing, right? So from that perspective, it's very similar. The point is that what you provide is mind-expanding experiences and culture. So to do this, you need to craft a narrative. You need to build your brand, who you are. And I think that's
Yeah.
what is beautiful with music. And I think that's what people should basically aim for.
I'll think about it.
I mean,
Enough
again,
with
I'm
the
just
idea.
brainstorming.
Yeah.
Have you tried to, like, absolutely without transition, like, have you tried to experiment with AI a little bit?
Yeah, I just happened to make a song with Suno. You know the
Okay.
Suno? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So you're the first person I talked to that actually made a song with Suno. So can you please explain to me from A to Z?
It was so easy, actually.
Yeah.
I just write some lyrics and put some style in it. I chose R&B and lo-fi and soul stuff, and it
Mhm.
was cool. I just it's very easy, actually. You don't have to. I can use that maybe for some later. I don't know, but not for my songs. But maybe if I do some little clips or videos or some little short films, it's very useful to use, actually. Like, you can make a song.
Have you followed the backlash around these AI companies?
What do you mean backlash? I don't know.
The issues that are actually associated with these companies, and there's some of the complaints that come from the music industry. Have you followed
Oh.
up?
No, I don't know now.
Okay, so just like to bring up to speed, the issue is that these AI companies, right, which are extremely powerful, right? There is a lot of money and they have great technology, right? The only way for them to actually provide this output, that is this amazing song that you're saying that you generated yourself, is to train their AI on existing songs. And the issue is that they did this without paying a dime. So right now, so not to put you on the spot, right? But like the song you generated, for example, is 100% influenced by the work of other artists before you.
Yeah.
And so the issue is that at the moment, there is no way to correlate the output from the input. So the training was done for free. They ask you to pay to access their platform, right? But the output, like normally you're supposed to be able to do whatever you want with it. At the moment, you're not, right? They're literally put on their platform like there is no copyright on it, right? But the issue is that how would you connect the ingredients in the recipe to the dish, the finalized song, right? And at the moment, it doesn't exist. And so the issue is, well, you're basically using the work of other artists without paying them.
Yeah.
And so it's very cannibalistic, right? Because today, for example, you're prompting a song with a tool. It works. You start using it for something. And then suddenly you realize that actually everything you're going to generate out of that has actually no value because it cannot be copyrighted. So at the moment, they are being sued by most of the labels worldwide, because a lot of the songs that come out of these platforms actually sound very similar to existing songs. It's just we cannot know all the songs in the universe, right? But that's at the moment the, how to say, controversial take on these platforms. Even if a lot of the tools that they are providing, for example, could be very interesting, like the ability to separate from song you heard, like the drums from the
Yeah.
melody, for example, right? But at the moment, this is still unsettled. Like, we don't know where this is going to go. There's literally a lawsuit ongoing for like hundreds of millions of dollars. Because of course everyone is afraid, like now the genie's out of the bottle. So as you said, a lot of people just like you would basically say, I don't need to write music anymore. But now who is writing music? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't feel that desperate actually. It's not because the songs making with AI so the vocals are so auto-tuned. It's not like authentic a human voice. So I'm not so desperate about the idea of AI is going to take our jobs or something like that, because people, started listening to old songs much more these days because they want that analog, that real sound actually. So I'm not sure that AI is going to take our place.
The issue is that the imitating human voice is not very hard. Like, I mean, it is hard, but like they are really already doing it. So
Yeah.
the auto-tune aspect of it is something that's going to disappear very quickly. I mean, you will be able to basically say, I want it to sound like auto-tune or not. So it's like already happening now, where you will be able to have songs and you and I would listen to it and we would not be able to tell at all if a human was actually behind a microphone somewhere. And that's the issue, because once you do this, then you have no way to prove it anymore. And again, the genie is out of the bottle. So that's why these lawsuits and how these platforms are going to be used is very interesting, because we don't know where this is going at the minute. And for me, it's a bit scary and also a bit sad, because right now, for example, you said you have been a songwriter for how many years?
For 10 years. Maybe.
So 10 years ago, you would write a song, you come up with it, right? And you release it wherever on a music platform. And people would be like, oh, wow, this is a great song. And they would eventually maybe tell you, like, did you write it on your own? And right, you had still the concept of ghostwriters, but no one would ever assume that it came from a machine.
Yeah.
Right now, you have absolutely no way to prove that you actually wrote that song on your own. And this for me is a bit sad, because I don't know exactly how this is going to work out. Because all these models now are getting more and more powerful, and some of them can run on your laptop. So you would not even need to say, I don't know, everyone using this system, we're going to get your name and your address. So if you release a song, we're going to be able to know that it came from our servers. Now you can actually do it on your own laptop. So I don't know.
So
If-
how many years for you left for us? I mean,
For me, it's already
Yeah.
too late, which is like now everyone that's going to write songs, everyone can actually be challenged by their audience or by people listening to them to be like, did you really write that? The same way that before you would challenge big artists to be like, hold on, is it the song you're performing it, but did you write it? And fair game, like, because in music you have publishing and recording, right? Fair game, even back in the days, you had ghostwriters, right? So you had people that literally would be in the dark, even
Mhm.
forever. They wouldn't even sign an NDA. No one would ever know that they wrote that song. The issue is that it's hard to scale, right? Because you only have a certain amount of people that would be actually that talented to write amazing songs. With the machine, it's the most scalable thing ever. You just download the software on your laptop, make it run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this for me is a bit sad, because I don't have a solution at the minute. The songwriting part of it, the performance, like, that will be pretty easy, because if you record a song, right? And actually you didn't sing yourself, you made it with an AI. So when you will perform live, people will know that you can't sing.
Yeah.
right? So that would be okay. You had like all these videos before of like artists going on stage and people are just like, what the hell? So on the recording side of things, I'm a bit less worried because people will be able to come to see you live and see that you can actually play the piano. You can actually sing.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's on the songwriting side of things that I'm a bit sad because I don't see how you would be able to prove that. Which means that even if you're a super talented songwriter and tomorrow you write like an amazing song and you're not even aware about what AI can do, right? You would just release the song and people will be like, is it really your song? That's yeah, for me that's a bit sad. It's not even scary, it's just sad because I don't have a solution. I don't know what you think about it.
What about recording live?
But you could still, because you record something that was written. And so you could still act like if you just, like imagine you just put your phone, right? And you film yourself 24/7. And suddenly you're just like, Eureka, right? I just found an amazing idea, right? I'm Paul McCartney and this is Blackbird. How can you prove that you actually didn't listen to that song from your AI system just 2 weeks ago? And you actually rehearsed it in your head and then you just act that you just came up with that song. You cannot.
Yeah, the inspiring part was always there, actually. You mean?
Oh yeah, I'm talking about fully written by AI. No, yeah, of course. We were ourselves training ourselves with other songs. I'm talking like, imagine that the AI system literally wrote an amazing song. And you know that people will not listen to it if it's made by AI. So you decide, your name is Kevin, you decide to basically say, I wrote that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's tough. Have you seen the movie Yesterday?
No.
So I recommend this movie.
Is it
It's super
new?
cool. No, it's maybe like 2-3 years old. And I when everyone is asking me about this songwriting stuff, I'm recommending everyone to watch that movie. The guy lives nowadays, right? And he's a huge Beatles fan.
Mm-hmm.
One day, whatever, falls over from his bike, right? And wakes up in a world where the Beatles never existed. Okay? Except he knows all the songs. Right? So he basically arrives somewhere, start playing whatever, Let It Be, right? And people are just like, what the hell is that? And he's like, just let it be. People are just like, you're a genius. And he's like, well, what the hell are you guys talking about? And suddenly he realizes the Beatles never existed in the reality he lives in. And so, of course, very quickly, he starts using and abusing that. So he rewrites all the Beatles songs and, of course, he becomes a superstar. And then at some point, like he has this imposter syndrome, which is like actually like logical. And basically tells everyone, well, actually, these songs are written by other people than me. But you get my point.
Yeah.
It's that if you have that knowledge of a song that you think is amazing, you can now actually act it out. You can just say, I wrote that song, even if you never. And there will be no human in the world be able to say, no, I actually wrote it because it's a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's. I don't want to be so hopeless about it. Maybe I'm not. If we look up for the all new productions, yeah, AI can replace them, the process and the production sound. But I'm not sure. Is there any going to be a new band that inspiring all over the world, or a person?
You think no more superstars?
Yeah.
Wait, it's even more gloomy than what I said. We're all finishing on a down note to be like, well, we're all kind of screwed. No, I know it's extremely scary. This is why, for me, the most important is to focus on fan engagement. that's why, because all of this is like, if you consider that there is no relationship between a fan and an artist. And that's why for me, we're actually going to come back to the very beginning of music, where the only people that knew your songs were your people. And so your fan base, right? You would go to meet them personally, or you would interact with them in a very specific manner, right? Just like how some artists are doing a fan club on Discord servers and things like this, right? Or Patreon, like we just discussed before. So that's why for me, the digital world is going to get crazier and crazier, and it's evolving so quickly that as humans, I don't know how we could keep up. So the only thing that I think we could act upon would be to ensure that we still have this social fabric, this cohesion, and this human touch.
Yeah.
The theme of your next album. So you see, we're wrapping up properly.
Yeah.
If you, what I do all the time at the end of an episode is that I love asking artists what is something that they're missing. A tool, a service, a person, like, or mindsets. What is the thing right now that if you had a magic wand, you would like to have?
I love the big productions, so I want to be the exact time of the big production I imagine. Right
Hold
to
on.
that
So what
point,
do you
I
mean? Like a video production or music production?
the whole show, I mean, the whole scene,
Live
the whole
performance.
performance, live.
So you would like service enabling you to create a great, I want to try to find a way, like a great production for a live performance, basically.
Yeah.
So you would like a service helping you to create the best live experience possible.
Yeah.
And so you imagine that you prompt it, just like Suno. You just say like, make the best show, and it's about human connection. And they say, put the lights here, put the camera here.
Yeah, I need a team actually for that. So I would like to have the team.
You need to find the people that share your vision and that will be willing to work with you to do this.
Yeah.
Awesome. So live performances, that's the first time that I hear this one. So let's see what we could do with this, because I would like, of course, on the platforms we're building, I really would like, on the platform we are building, I really would love to enhance collaboration between creatives, not just artists. So for example, you might at some point have a service, maybe not us, other people that would create a service where you can actually find these people.
I would be appreciated. Yeah. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. That would be cool to attend the show after that.
Yeah.
Ceyda, thanks a lot for coming today. And basically okay to wrap up. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.